of God, but yet he's told the whole world that 26 people died in his church when nobody died. He's a liar. Let's go, Frank. Let's go polygraph right now. I've got a man in San Antonio.
The comment you just made, knowing my 14-year-old daughter's laying...
You're a liar, Frank. You're a filthy liar, Frank.
You know?
You're a demon, Frank. You should be able to provide the evidence more than anybody on this planet. This guy should be able to provide evidence of a death that happened at this church.
We've had to learn to deal with these sick fuckers that are saying this stuff, that are out there claiming that we're not real people, claiming that we're actors. We don't give a shit what you say. We're not afraid.
It's a horrible thing to think that 17 children got murdered, but it's even more disturbing to think that the government would do something like this and present it as a real event when
There's
it's
a little
not.
bit of TOS here.
A lot of today's hoaxers are mentally ill, and they think that what they see on the web and TV is just a reality show. And so if it's a reality show, then everything is staged, then everyone is an actor.
This isn't a fucking conspiracy. This is real life, and people are fucking dying.
Oh my God!
I got a text from Lauren that said, code red.
They don't show anything, but goddamn, dude, that's a little brutal. Maybe a little trigger warning is due there. Holy fuck. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That is insane that they just like posted the footage of Marjorie Douglas. That's
Active shooter. I love you, Mom.
I was holding my really close friend Sam Deitch's hand, and I remember something she just kept on saying over and over. I don't want to be another number. I don't want to be a number. We're gonna be another number.
She knew that at least
Parkland.
3 of her friends had died. She wouldn't know for the next 36 hours whether or not another one of her friends died who actually did. Knowing that as a big brother, you can't do anything about that, just made me so mad. I figured I would use my speech and debate skills and my journalism skills, I guess you could say, to go out and speak. And my parents didn't want me to go.
I told David, don't go back over there. He disappeared a few minutes, he comes back, he's got the camera, gets on his bike. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm going to get my story. And he took off.
David Hogg. David Hogg. David Hogg. David Hogg.
David Hogg is here with me now.
When I first started doing interviews, I wasn't like nervous or anything because I've done many interviews before with our own TV program, and I'd been doing that for the past like 4 years basically. And I was just pissed off. I wanted to make sure that something like this wouldn't happen again.
My name is Tony Mead, and I am an independent journalist. How I'm related here is that this is in my backyard. Did people die? I don't know, but
oh my God. How, oh my God. How can human beings be this way, bro? I mean, dude, guys, you want to know the most fucked up shit? This is an older video. So this didn't come out back then. I don't know if it'll feature it. But you want to know the truth of brain brokenness? You want to know the peak brain rot? Let me tell you. One of the fucking parents of the kids in school, one of the parents of the kids in school now believes that it was a fucking false flag. Here.
I joined a union recently, and it's the best thing I've ever done.
A Parkland shooting survivor's dad found QAnon and is now convinced the massacre was a hoax and his son was a paid actor. This came out last year. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? The teen said his dad now believes that the deadly 2018 shooting was a false flag event.
As flex.
Yeah, Alt F4, dude. Alt F4 from society at that point. You know what I mean? Alt tab. What the fuck are you going to do about that? You're like, wow, this is the guy who's, this happened in his backyard and he doesn't believe it. Okay, this happened to him. The only step beyond that
is a deranged man backed into
is if like fucking Kyle Cashew, remember the one like reactionary Stoneman Douglas kid? If he came out and said it was fake. That's it. There's literally like the one layer more insane than this is if one of the victims directly who was shot was like, nah, it was a false flag.
Fucking weird. Monetizing
like there's nothing more insane than this.
Is so weird at HasanAbi.
Like someone was like, yeah, I got shot, but it was a false flag actually. I didn't really get shot. Or if the parent of an injured, killed student said it was fake. Brother, that happened! That's what I'm saying! That's this!
Awesome content. Keep it up.
You're looking at it! Yeah, How crazy is that, right? If a parent of a fucking victim that was killed in Parkland came out and said it was fake, well, that's right. That's what you're looking at. I know. Oh, sorry, it's a survivor. Sorry, this is a survivor's dad. Not someone who got shot. My apologies. Still, I mean, it's still insane, but
I don't think that what happened here is a genuine calamity. There's something perpetrated here that defies logic, right? That I think was something done deceitfully to bring about political change. Because this event is so close to home and affected my friends personally, and it would be unfair of me to start talking about how, look closer at this, look closer at that. But I do have certain groups where I'm able to talk about it. I have groups on Facebook of like-minded people like myself where we're able to discuss this, look at the anomalies, and share information.
Thank God, man, you guys got a group of people to discuss this shit, you know, amongst yourselves. What the fuck?
Got a sick new cable tech job and I am able to resubscribe. Thanks for the content, Hass.
I go by Side Thorn, and this is Conspiracy Granny.
Thanks for being
And what we do is we go to these false flag hoaxes.
Dude, here's a fucking, here is a red flag, okay? Any dude with a GoPro strapped to his chest. You see a motherfucker, a civilian with a body camera, know that you are about to have the most unhinged conversation, and it's probably going to appear on some fucking, like, Second Amendment auditor YouTube channel, okay?
And we prove them wrong.
This lady's called Conspiracy Grandma. Like, dude, what is happening? You're literally like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm insane psychopathic pedophile here, you know, and this is my YouTube channel. Like, what the fuck is that? You literally just, like, named it yourself. You named your fucking channel off of being a conspiracy grandma. What the fuck?
Wrong. This story, they supposedly 26 victims were shot and killed inside the church by a lone gunman. It's a false narrative, fake, never happened.
And we'll show you how that never happened.
Bro, her eyes are way too close to one another. I'm just going to say it.
Well, what initially happened was that Devin Kelly, a shooter, came into the church property, fired through the walls, then went into the church and shot a whole lot of folks to where 26 passed away and there was 23 survivors. My daughter was in there. I lost Annabelle, and many of my very good friends was in there as well.
We lived directly across the street from the church. I was changing my oil and I look over and I see a guy with a AR-15 and full Class 3 body armor shooting at the front of the church. And I actually was shot at 3 times. It hit right there and it came across and it went through right here, and then it went through where I'm remodeling, it went through right here. You know, my son was right here. So he was within about 1.5 feet, 2 feet of my son's head.
All right, guys, we just want to show everybody that there's no fixed bullet holes anywhere. No way was anything replaced. No bullet holes, no nothing.
The issue of Sidethorn started about December 15th. There were several conspiracy theorists that had been coming around, not just him, and trying to deface the memorial, trying to harass people. This guy tried to say what we saw wasn't real, but the truth is that we weren't paid. We're not crisis actors. It happened.
My sister, my nieces fucking died.
There's no evidence. There is no...
Dude, imagine fucking debating. Imagine debate lording a victim's family. Just like, you can't disprove it.
No evidence showing...
Like at a certain point, you gotta take a deep breath and be like, okay, maybe I should fucking stop. Like, I'm a bad piece of shit person. Like, I should probably stop it. Nope. No point in time does that ever happen.
That they are dead at all, that they even existed.
What?
I'm gonna have all those bodies exhumed. That means I'm gonna have them dug up. Do you understand?
The fact that he calls the victims and harasses people who lost their daughters, their moms, their dads, their grandmothers, I just can't explain why any human being would be this way.
People didn't get to see the dead bodies. Everything was tightly closed, and they cleaned up very, very fast because of how horrific it was. And I think that's what leads to people thinking it didn't happen.
Attention, Sutherland Springs. We're offering a $100,000 reward for proof of death for any of these supposed victims.
There have been a few people who've reached out and offered to show death certificates and birth certificates and stuff. I don't think he really wants proof, and I don't think he's going to give you $100,000 for it either.
You will not threaten the truth. You will bow down to the truth. There's been more of these false flag operations. They're called psychological operations.
They should show the bodies every time? Fuck no. These people look at the bodies and go, that's makeup. What are you, crazy? No, man. No amount of evidence is going to fucking allow these people to, like, recognize the truth. They're fucking brain dead. The only thing you can do is try to plug the dam, okay? There's too many holes already. You just got to try and plug the dam. You got to plug the dam. You got to plug the dam. Part of that is, unironically, suppressing the speech of fucking psychopathic people like Alex Jones if they keep doing it. And it doesn't make sense for them to stop doing it because this is how they make money. There's nothing you can do about it. Have you never talked to people like this? I mean, maybe not people this unhinged, but like, you see how some of these motherfuckers are like when they're in the chat. They'll come in and they'll say something. I will disprove it immediately. They'll turn around and latch on to my counter and pick something from the counter or move the goalposts immediately or use my counter as a way to reconfirm their suspicions. This is just how it is. I experience a microcosm of this, but it's just how they operate.
They're by the Department of Homeland Security, and they're being forefront by the FBI. That's who's controlling the narrative on these, and they're working with crisis actors.
We were right there by the car, by the gas pump 3. And we heard the shots go off again, and that's when we saw that he was standing out there shooting at the building.
Cythorn had been coming by the store. That's when he started accusing that I was in with the FBI and this was all a conspiracy. I asked him to please leave. And he said, no, you need to verify this story. And I said, no, sir, I'm not verifying anything because it's not true. And he kept on insisting.
Exposed that this was a drill?
Right.
This was no damn drill. This was evil.
How do you know if anybody was actually killed?
Please do not bother me with this anymore.
Okay.
I lost my loved ones and I lost all my friends and I witnessed this evil thing. And whatever conspiracy thing or whatever crap that is out there.
You mean the truth?
It's crap. It's not the truth.
How do they make money? Often they just have intergenerational wealth, low cost of living, have a house that was like left down, like have a house that like someone gave them, you know what I mean? Their parents or some shit. Small business owners. That's usually how it works. There's so many people like this, man. There's so many fucking people like this.
A scripted play. That's exactly what every one of them are. They're scripted. It's not possible for them to prove a single one that we've looked at.
Someone say you don't see these dudes in San Francisco, too expensive. Montana Jax has been in this chat for like the past week complaining about San Francisco housing prices. And I respect it because like he's right. It's really bad. But every time, every issue doesn't have to turn into San Francisco and how expensive living is there, man. Yeah, here it is. Here, look. Yay, now I can buy a home in San Francisco. It's only up 2.5%. It's only $4 million now, KW. I mean, when you sign a 30-year mortgage on something that's 10x your yearly salary, I understand because people get underwater. Healthy, long-term, sustainable economy, by the way. Talking about landlords in San Francisco. San Francisco housing market broke this man, which is understandable because it is very broken. What I was saying was, you're right. The people that are like conspiracy theorists of that magnitude, unfortunately, are people like Peter Thiel. So there is that reality. But yeah, that's why you see these guys in like, you know, random parts of the fucking country.
Not a one. But we go to everyone in Texas just to confirm what we already know to be true. And then it's no doubt about it when we get there. That's what I'm saying. It's a fact.
We want y'all to go look at the bullet holes that aren't there.
A portion of hoaxers have no problem with targeting victims, and they don't care if they're hurting people. They feel that they are absolutely in the right, and that these are the villains in this big, you know, multiplayer online game, and they're part of the good guys, so they have no concern.
I can't believe the church didn't. I can't believe the church fixed the bullet holes up instead of keeping them. It's fucked up. Must be a conspiracy. Must mean that no bullet holes ever existed to begin with.
My son was murdered at the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting.
I mean, guys, these guys are so unhinged. I've talked about this before. I know people, okay? I know like relatives of people I know that were there at January 6th. They still maintain the position that Antifa is responsible for January 6th. They were there. They still think it was. It's like, do you not hear the words coming out of your mouth? Are you saying you're Antifa? They were fucking there, and they still say it was Antifa. How do you reason with that person?
As a result of that event,
they're industry plants in your family. They're not in my family, man. They're relatives of people I do know, though.
Online conspiracy theories started to brew.
Ludwig, I'm talking about Ludwig.
I see it as I stood my ground for the most part, and everyone took a few steps back. And so when you look at this online issue, I'm visible, but I'm incorporated in their narrative. So whenever I'm videoed, I don't want to be recognizable or easily found. So I try to remain a couple of steps removed. There's almost nothing different in the conspiracy theories relating to the Parkland shooting. The hoaxer playbook is immediately finding any inconsistency in any footage that's being shown online and then freeze framing it and drawing circles and lines and arrows on it and claiming that this is fake, that's staged, this person is practicing their lines.
And that's the other part of it. This is the greatest way that stupid people can do that. The easiest way to like create a conspiracy narrative around something is by just like looking at something that is normal process and then acting like that process is strange. No, you just don't know how that process works. Another great example of this is how conservatives, like mainstream conservatives, routinely lied and still continue to this day lie about the election and the tabulation of the votes. How do they do this? Well, there's a lot of footage. This is one of the most recorded voting processes on the fucking planet. It's one of the, actually, unironically, one of the cleanest and one of the most secure voting processes on the planet, the United States election system. We don't get much right, but this is one of those things that's like actually pretty solid. And part of that process is the transparency of the matter itself, right? Almost every part of the tabulation was recorded. Like you see it in front of your eyes. So what did these people do? Well, they take that transparency and use it to their advantage. They weaponize videos by going, look, this is a moment where they actually take the votes out of the box and put it in this bag. It's like, okay, that's the normal process. You're looking at the normal process and just saying that's fucked up. And because most people don't understand that that is the normal process, they go, yeah, that does sound kind of weird. And I'm inclined to believe that it wasn't, that God King Donald Trump could have possibly lost to a fucking corpse that they propped up like Joe Brandon. And that's all it takes to sow the seeds of doubt, because these people are fucking stupid. They literally will look at like normal shit, but because the audience doesn't know that that's normal shit, act like it's actually abnormal.
They want to scare us. They want to make us feel unsafe.
Television is the David Hogg channel now. He's on everywhere. And I know scripted PR when I hear it.
One of them went into a bathroom in the same, I believe, in the same hallway as the shooter. Oh, hold on. One of them went into the same bathroom, I believe, as the hallway shooter. That's called a soundbite. And I was re-saying my sound bites to sound as eloquent as possible. I wasn't reciting my lines, I was reciting my heart.
I mean, it is incredible, though, to watch fake news in action. I mean, this is how you murder the truth. And I don't know if David Hogg understands this. He probably doesn't.
I tweeted the lovely man that is Alex Jones. I wanted to come on and actually debate him, but then I realized some of the stuff that he was saying, which was the exact same stuff that he said about the Sandy Hook survivors, saying that they were actors.
Then we see footage of one of the reported fathers of the victims, Robbie Parker, doing classic acting training where he's laughing and joking, and they say, hey, we're live, and he goes, oh, And maybe that's real. I'm sure it is.
He's doing that exact same stuff, and knowing that he had done that before, I wasn't going to give him time of day.
We didn't say you were a crisis actor and believe this happened. We just pointed out that you're an admitted actor and journalism student and said that you're anti-gun and that you're being fed talking points.
Alex Jones was probably the first one that created the narrative of Sandy Hook victim dies again. In 2015, there was a school tragedy.
That is fucking bananas.
In Peshawar, Pakistan, where the Taliban had killed 150 people. And Noah's image appeared on the school grounds during vigils. And perhaps they were trying to say, we kind of feel your pain. We have the same tragedies that happen. That InfoWars short news article was then echoed thousands of times online.
I'm the administrator.
How are you gonna fucking sit here and blame the full-blown responsibility exclusively on Alex Jones when you just saw that? When you saw that number? This is not just on Alex Jones. He bears the majority of the blame. But you're gonna fucking sit here and act like Facebook does not have the responsibility to monitor this? I mean, are you kidding me? Same with TikTok. Same with all these fucking platforms, dude. It's crazy. It's madness. They made so much money off this shit because that means more eyeballs, more clicks, more time spent on site. And they didn't give a fuck. And they still don't.
Thousands of times online.
I'm the administrator, one of the administrators for the Sandy Hook Hoax Facebook page. And Lenny Posner, one of
14,000 people like the Sandy Hook's Hoax administration page.
The supposed parents of a victim at Sandy Hook, Noah Posner. He's certainly been determined to quell any information regarding the Sandy Hook incident. And of course, it's disguised by he's a poor victim who wants to preserve the legacy of his child. This child has no legacy. Nobody cares about this kid. And this kid is a flash in the pan. Sandy Hook is years behind us now. The only people that care about it are the people that want the truth.
I mean, who wouldn't point this out? I mean, is the Pakistan bombing fake? I mean, one of these two is fake.
There's a large profit in this. So we know that Alex Jones makes.
So you think we should restrict people's voice because they're conspiracists? Yes. I hope that was very clear. Yes. If you are willingly and deliberately spreading misinformation and defamation, that is already an incredibly high bar to clear, which Alex Jones has, okay, in a court of law, you should have your platforms taken away from you. Yeah. Did I stutter? Yeah. What position are you taking? You're literally, are you pro misinformation in this? The fuck? Chatters will literally come in here and be like, nah, dog, you should be able to spread misinformation that literally gives people schizophrenia.
Upwards of $50 million a year spreading this type of insanity. So what used to be very, very remote has now picked up traction.
Come on, Coke. My name is Wolfgang Halbig, and I'm a national school safety consultant. So with Sandy Hook, what I call it's an illusion. It's all about misdirection. It's all about
Look at the house. Look at this motherfucker's house.
Misinformation. They want you to chase all of this stuff. Look here, look there. It's an illusion.
What's your bottom line? What do you think really happened at Sandy Hook?
I can tell you, children did not die.
Look at that motherfucker's house, bro. Look at that motherfucker's house, homie. Look at his house, bro. That's a guy. You're like, come on. How is this happening? How is a guy who is so very clearly batshit fucking insane, how is that guy out there living in a fucking McMansion in Florida? How?
Teachers did not die on December 14th, 2012. It just could not have happened.
This event generated attention for him, and this is his retirement hobby, to harass victims, harass the Connecticut government with repeated information requests for things that don't exist or that they can't provide, and then saying, aha.
I'm over here asking questions on why no trauma helicopters.
Sandy Hook is only 10 minutes from a large hospital in the area. The trauma helicopter would have taken an hour to get there.
Why no paramedics?
Wolfgang goes around claiming that there were no EMTs, and it's been disproven. But he keeps saying that, and it gets repeated, and his followers never fact check.
They're looking at me as a conspiracy nut, mental health issues. I mean, yeah, if I am wrong, I will guarantee you this, that I will voluntarily, immediately enroll myself in a mental health long-term facility. I can't hurt people. That's not my nature.
I mean, do it, pussy. Do it. Like, do it. Come on, let's go.
And these mass casualty shootings have a huge impact on our emotions, on our hearts, and how we think. And they're using, this gun mechanism as the driving force. I mean, no matter what state you're in, guns, it's all about guns, new legislation. See, and I think there has been so much misinformation given by the national news. Now, even the President of the United States, I mean, he publicly comes out and calls them out as fake news.
A certain portion, 25% of the population, is easily convinced of things, especially if it's being told to them by someone who they respect and trust. And once hoaxers keep narrowing their information feed of news, then they're not getting any other information other than these very, very paranoid type ideas.
This is what I do. I spend anywhere from 2 to 6 hours a day updating and monitoring stuff on the Sandy Hook Hoax Facebook page.
The Facebook page is an online meeting place for all of these dysregulated people. They post images of victims and of children and people related to tragedies, and Facebook has not done anything to deal with this hate group.
I also look at other posts. Mom of anti-gun poster boy reports threats to FBI. Rebecca Baldrick says she contacted the FBI this week because the threats against her family have continued to appear on Facebook. What does that mean? Continue to appear on Facebook. What, is she scrolling through Facebook looking for a threat? How does a threat appear on Facebook? Does that make sense to you? Poor Mrs. Baldrick, mother of David Hogg, who's not even a victim. He's a spokesperson. So poor David Hogg's mother is being threatened on Facebook.
I looked at my account and it said I had like 172 comments, and I normally have 4. Most of them have been very general and just kind of hurtful, but there was one that talked about David's birthday and that he's going to be killed on his birthday, and that really, really bothered me, and I notified the FBI. This man, my friends have just gone after, which seems to be the most effective strategy. So his friends and neighbors know that he is harassing victims of the Douglas shooting. And it's just ridiculous that he thinks that he can put all this out there on Facebook and we're just gonna lay down and take it. Well, let me tell you, you fucked with the wrong mama bear.
I don't question.
How does nobody kick the shit out of these people? Well, it doesn't hurt that they're some of the most litigious freaks on the planet with a lot of disposable income, if you haven't noticed. That probably factors into the reasons as to why they're like relatively protected. Upper middle class, bored, have a lot of disposable income. They just have a lot of time on their hands. They're fucking crazy. And they love the attention. That's another thing. Remember how, like, I mean, here, I'm using like a microcosm example once again, not saying that this is any way, shape, or form similar, like what I experience on a daily basis, anywhere similar to like the victims of these sorts of school shootings. But the mania is pretty similar, right? Like you have these cyber stalking, like lolcow communities and shit. Like the way they are like nonstop doing this sort of stuff. Or they like come into the chat with like 1 million different stock accounts and write crazy shit in there. The reason why they do it is so that they get attention. They want attention. They want to hurt these people because they also partially thrive on that attention. They like are desperate. So I think like the mental illness and the way that these guys are deranged are similar.
question myself. And I'm also a good person. I don't question my morality. I've always been good to people. I don't do what I do and to hurt anyone, you know? And they want to know, what if you're wrong? Oh, I'm gonna be so sorry and apologetic to everyone. But it's like, what if water's not wet, okay? What if the sky's not blue?
Well, I think it'll get a lot worse. They are turning these conspiracy ideas against people, against victims. And that's a very dark evolution. Right now, the internet is a largely unregulated space. We've seen the empowerment of the mentally ill, and the mentally ill ideas have been spreading.
Let's go show them the sign that they scratched out our name, because I got a bigger marker this time.
Hey, tone it down. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, look, they got nice cars and shit. Like, upper middle class motherfuckers with a lot of time, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna show you where we.
Video came out in 2018.
Where we. Hey. Hey, well, look at this, guys. Hey, there's Mr. Palmer. Are you working on electric?
I am.
Frank Pomeroy.
I am. And I've been waiting on this day so I can.
Hey, come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Come on, my property.
There we go. We knew this had to come one day. Did you hear that, guys?
Did you hear that?
He's out telling us we're not welcome on his property. Why is that, Frank?
Because we've already.
Wait, I need to give Frank a new flyer anyway, man.
Yeah, you do that.
This is the pastor of the church, guys.
Since I'm on
the main player in this charade.
Yeah.
Because I've already had to deal with one person that didn't have a full grasp on reality, and we're scared to deal with another person that doesn't have a grasp.
Frank, would you like to put that in writing, sir, and take a polygraph right now for $100,000?
One, I don't think you have $5.
Oh, Frank, now you've got the evidence?
No different.
You got the evidence?
Than the man who came and shot.
No one came to this place, you lying sack of shit, government motherfucking sellout bitch. You're a demon, Frank.
And you're
a demon, and I represent the righteousness of God.
And you're a sissy with a big mouth.
You're a demon.
That's the pastor, by the way.
The only way that I could get a trespassing warning placed against him was I had to formally warn him by voice. I had to engage with him. And so for the last month, we have been trying.
Like, he's talking at a church that was shot at to the pastor, survived the shooting, calling him a fucking demon, a government demon.
Trying to catch him and him not see us coming, because he would run if he knew we were coming. I'm supposing he did not realize it was me inside the vehicle that he walked up by, and I was able to get out and engage him and told him that he was no longer welcome on the property. From there, he just got loud and just degrading.
The reality is you don't have a photograph of a victim, you don't have any death certificates, you don't have any birth certificates, you don't have shit, Frank. That's the reality of this.
So you're saying my daughter wasn't born?
Daughter? Where is she, man? It wasn't your daughter, you actor. How long you been involved here?
See, this right here shows you are not even remotely close to reality.
Prove it, you dumb fuck.
That is the troll tactic to attack the individual.
She loves it. Look, you see that? They're thriving on it. Look at their faces. Look at their fucking faces. They're like, yeah, we got him. This guy's kid is fucking dead. He lost his daughter, and they're like, prove it, you dumb fuck. This is like, I mean, they're perverts. How fucking bananas is that? Okay, just because the merch is cool doesn't change what I said, okay? Shut up about how cool the merch looks. You're right, but you don't have to say it.
Everything but the truth, everything but the facts. You ain't got nothing.
Hey.
This man has made real threats. He's reaching out to people who are already going through a PTSD and are grieving and emotionally just hurting. It's not your First Amendment to threaten people.
You're a sellout bitch that's getting paid, man. And you know what? You just can't handle that I'm going to expose you motherfuckers for what you are until the people hang you by the neck, man. You're going to hang, traitor. That I assure you. Do not touch me.
Let me talk.
Do you understand that?
I haven't touched you.
I have a right to make a citizen's arrest on any law enforcement officer that puts their fucking...
Remember what I said? About how, like, psychotic these dudes are? And the moment that you, like, actually retort or pop off on them, they will get litigious on your ass so quick. Look at that. Yeah, he's like, I'm a sovereign citizen. What did I tell you? You see a fucking GoPro strapped to the chest of a civilian, dude? understand that you are dealing with a sovereign citizen. You're not dealing with a cop. It's worse than that. You're dealing with a wannabe cop.
Hands on me. Do you understand that's assault?
Do you understand? Let me talk.
No, you tell me you understand I have the right as a citizen to make a citizen's arrest. Yes or no?
Let me
Yes
talk.
or no?
Let me talk. Yes or no.
Hey, there you go.
Turn around.
Hey.
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
Did you?
Put your hands behind
Now,
your
what
back.
am I being arrested for?
Criminal trespassing. Quit resisting.
Criminal trespassing. You see him hit me in the back? You see him hit me in the back? You
Stop
see him hit me in the back? You got the truck? He didn't do anything, man. What are you doing? He didn't go, don't resist.
Even though everyone...
God damn, dude. Police violence and police brutality
The same when
hits
you dropping
so
your
different
own
when you see it,
nutraceuticals.
when it's like pig on pig. When it's pig on pig, it really does hit different.
Thank you, Hassie, for the nearly 2 years of content.
All the
and how
law
you made me
enforcement
such a
knew
better
that this
person, Hassie.
had
Thank
the
you for
possibility
meeting
of
out any
getting
tendencies/opinions
violent
I used to have had.
until there was
And they're squealing too, like little piglets.
some type of infraction. There was no way to stop it. Now, luckily, yesterday, what happened without no one getting hurt. And this is the catalyst to get things rolling to where maybe now he will leave the victims alone at least.
We'll be back, Frank. We'll be back. You count on that, Frank. You're not ever getting rid of the truth, Frank.
In the past, I've called hoax theory a thought virus. There are people that benefit from these hoax theories, so they don't mind them because the hoax theories are pushing back against gun control. So it's there and people have been infected with it.
Hassle.
The only time over the past 5 years that I've felt like I might want to just step away from this investigation is when I realized how much of my life it's consumed. Right? For the past 5 years, part of my life has been stolen with the hours and hours that I've invested into this research. And it's taken away from my life and my ability to be a good parent to my child. It's obsessive, you know? But I believe what I have experienced and what I know to be true. And the evidence that I've seen repeatedly points to the fact that this is contrived events that are not genuine.
Over to Yays, baby, let's go.
I wish he was right so that these people were still here. That's what hurts so bad is like, you keep telling us that these people didn't die, that they just moved or something, and it's not true. And as much as we would all wish that, one, we were getting paid by the government, but two, we were getting our family members back like they never left us, it's just not how it goes.
Hassle 22 months.
Part of the reason why I spoke up so soon after wasn't because I was mentally stable, wasn't because I felt like I'd grieved enough. I hadn't. I still haven't.
People grieve in different ways, and I think David was more active through his grief. I'm not sure he's processed it yet, but I think that's how he's dealing with it.
This right here is where we had her last birthday party. Was sitting right here, and her friends came, and I cooked hot dogs right there on that grill you're standing beside right there for her last birthday party here. Absolutely.
Thank you, Hasan, for streaming every day for us. It genuinely makes my life better.
You're welcome, brother. Mine too. Mine too. To a certain degree.
Aware.